Hi, everybody. Bill Huddleston along with the coach of the Ruffers, Rafe Watkins. An exciting week for Ruffer football. Coach, a new season underway. Ruffers are undefeated and into district play.
We want to know where it counts. You know, we've been kind of looking forward to this week. When you have an 0-3 start, you always look forward to district play then and hope that it come out start of the new season. And I'm proud of the kids that went over and played hard, especially in the first half. Second half, we got a little sloppy and a little complacent. But, overall coming back with a win, that's the main thing.
A coach's evaluation of game always finds room for improvement. So, Coach, we'll try to get that job done this week in homecoming week. But there were some exciting moments, like Coach mentioned, and it virtually started from the opening kick of last week's ball game as we roll our video highlights from the Sapulpa game.
Yeah, Jamari gets to the outside here, and we have the wall set, and they have one kid, I think is their kicker, that stays back and makes a great play. Because when he gets right here, it looks like it's touchdown. But nonetheless, great field position starting off at our own 46-yard line, coming out here, and then we start with Elijah Gilbert. Had just an outstanding game. 210 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns.
Change of pace, change of direction.
Does a great job. He's got great feet, great vision.
We're going to see more of Mo here because when it's working, why change it, right?
He's running our little speed option play here and going to finish strong in here because he crosses and gets cleaned up pretty good there. But
he had that downfield blocking again from the wide receivers, which always helps.
The skinny linemen, as we like to call them, are doing a great job for us. Here's just playing hard. Jamari's just had a great season, and the ball's tipped, and when you're playing hard, good things happen to you.
Concentrated effort takes it all the way to the house for another touchdown, and Ruffers weren't through putting points on the board in the first half, which is what every offensive coach loves to see happen.
I think we had 386 total yards in the first half and 34 points, and if not for the missed extra point, have the 35. That's one thing that we still got to get cleaned up is our special teams in some areas, but for the most part, there were. Here's another hustle play. Right here, it looks like Jamari's going. He gets stripped, and luckily Cameron Curl's there to save the day.
Just more of the same things that were working, and here's Mo again changing direction, changing speeds, and blows past to the last would-be tackler. And we're just going to keep coming right back with number 1 on the program with the Ruffers last week. Actually, it was number 6 because Elijah Gilbert certainly had one of those outstanding games, Coach, like you mentioned, 210 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Well, like I said, if you noticed right there, he had 3 offensive linemen downfield blocking too. The skinny linemen, the receivers out there are blocking great, but those big boys up front, and I know Mo appreciates them, and when we talk to him later, I'm sure he'll talk about them. But again, just huge gaping holes, and Mo's got that little extra burst that he can get in there and just did a great job.
And this is a hustle play too.
This is one of our sophomores, Crutchfield, and I call him Speedy, but he comes down, he strips the ball, and still ends up getting the fumble also.
Which is a great effort right there. And then one more defensive highlight for the Ruffers. Had to have defense to win the game, and it came up big.
I believe this is maybe across the middle, the big hit by Cameron. Yeah. Leads with the shoulders. Luckily, that's a clean, good hit. Comes through there and just makes an awesome
But it
play.
Also on the following plays causes those wide receivers to be kind of peeking to see if there's a number 2.
Well, they get a lot shorter arms, too. They don't like to reach out for that pass as much then as well.
Exactly. It was an exciting ball game. It got a little nerve-wracking at the end, but when it was all said and done, Ruffers came away with the 41-29 victory, and most importantly, stand 1-0 in district play. Now, this is kind of a special week, special for a couple of reasons. It's homecoming, but it's also special because the Ruffers, as we've already mentioned, have a 200-yard performance running the football. And we're going to bring in Elijah Gilbert, or Mo as we call him, after this timeout here on Ruffer TV. Welcome back here on TV 15. Bill Huddleston along with the coach of the Ruffers, Rafe Watkins. And Coach, last week, this was our hero because this guy, when you put the ball in his hands, as they say, he knew what to do.
Well, he's done a great job all year long so far for us. He hasn't had that huge game like we knew he was capable of doing. Our running game has not been where we wanted, but it was a perfect time to start it with district play coming on. He had 24 carries for 210 yards and 3 touchdowns. And so if we can keep getting those type of efforts, I like our chances in every ball game.
Absolutely. Now, Elijah Gilbert, affectionately known to everybody as Mo, but you're the quiet guy. What was it like last Friday night? I mean, how big did those holes look, and what was it that you were able to see that allowed you to change direction and change gears?
Oh, the holes was very huge. Like all practice, the whole week they were huge. But it just, it felt good being able to run for 200 yards.
Absolutely, a 210-yard performance, first since 2006. Now, that's a long time. But can we count on 6 to give another 200 in the following weeks to come?
You just gotta come watch.
Guys gotta come and watch. Now, Coach, we were looking at the video highlights a moment ago, and I think there were some exciting moments for you. Was there a particular play that you enjoyed more, or maybe you remember more than from last week's ball game?
No, sir. A lot of people been asking me, but it was just a good night.
Now, Coach also pointed out, though, that finish in the end zone. I think that was a good lesson learned, too.
Yes,
Can't
sir.
help but poke a little fun at the guy that certainly excited the crowd. 210 yards, 3 touchdowns, and it's all predicated on the fact of what those big-butted linemen do up front, and then those receivers that are down there leading your way, too. You kind of have a nice relationship with those guys as well.
Yes, sir.
All right, so, Coach, he's not going to say a whole lot. He's going to get us all excited each and every Friday night. He'll have your hair standing on end when the Ruffers play this week against Ponca City. And, Mo, hopefully we can repeat another 200-yard performance.
Yes, sir.
Elijah Gilbert, he wears number 6 when the Ruffers take the field with the football. He's our guest here on TV 15. Back with more. We'll take a look at homecoming week against Ponca City right after this timeout. Back here on TV 15, a coach's dream come true or nightmare? Homecoming week, Rafe.
Let's just call it a necessary evil. Most coaches don't like homecoming. When you go play one, you're telling your kids all week long that you're their homecoming, they don't respect you, and you play harder and all that. And then whenever it's your turn, you're always worried. And it's mainly the things that happen during the week. It's just so much. We continue our normal practices and stuff, but right. The kids, between the parades and the little shenanigans that take place always during homecoming week and stuff, you just hope they're getting plenty of rest and stuff. And last year we didn't perform very well. That was a playoff loss for us as far as with Bartlesville, and so we've told them that we don't need a repeat performance on that. We played absolutely horrible last year on homecoming, and we got a Ponca City group coming in here while they're 1-2 right now because their game 3 got lightninged out with Shawnee. So they're 1-2. That one was very impressive victory over Enid of 42-14. And so last week they played Booker T, and Booker T is going to beat a lot of people, and so they're number 1 for a reason. But Ponca's a good, solid squad. They're big physical up front. They got a very good quarterback and a couple of nice running backs, and so they'll be all we want.
And defensively, they're not afraid to, as they say in coaches speak, bring the wood.
Well, they've got an outstanding nose guard that we played against last year, and their 2 inside linebackers on their 3-4 defense. They're pretty solid as well, as good as linebacker combination as we've seen probably as of yet. So, and they've got a couple of nice safeties. We should be able to move the ball, if we keep going like we have, if Mo keeps playing like he is at running, our skinny lineman, and Q keeps playing well, our line's blocking well. Defensively, we want to turn it up a notch this week. We've been getting up a few too many points, and we realize that. But our kids are getting better at their positions, the young ones and the inexperienced ones on defense, and I anticipate us having a great showing this week.
Right now, this is homecoming week, but it's also the first of our game night sponsors. And I know without people such as Russell Pratt and the people at Runts, Ruffers go hungry.
Well, I tell you, you're never going to go hungry at Runts because he takes care of you. In fact, when I go there, I eat way too much. But Russell does a good job for us. He feeds us all home pregame meals, and we couldn't do it without him. We're sure appreciative.
It's nice to have a great community of support like the folks at Runts Barbecue and many others throughout our program that stand in behind the green and white and cheer proudly. Maybe not always at the game, but certainly they're there in spirit. And we'll expect to see you Friday night at Muskogee Creek Nation Field Indian Bowl. Game time is set for 7 o'clock. Our pregame show on Ruffer.tv, and the crowds for following us greatly there, Coach, starts at 6:30. We'll have visits with Coach. We'll have visits with players. We invite you to join us for that each and every week. But more importantly, this week, get out and see the Ruffers in person. It's homecoming week. It's the community band. It's no reason for you not to be in the stands. Game time is 7 o'clock Friday night at Muskogee Creek Nation Field Indian Bowl when the Ruffers take on Ponca City. Rafe, nice to be 1-0. Be even better to be 2-0.
That will be great.
Absolutely. And we'll hopefully talk about that this time next week with more Ruffer football here on TV 15.